Hello everyone, this is John Fawcett once again, Warning Coordination Meteorologist for the National Weather Service Office serving southern New Mexico and far west Texas. An update for the winter storm scenario, which has already begun with the cold east winds. It'll just get a little messier over the weekend. This early season winter mix, we have a lot of confidence in some things, not so much in others, but we do have a lot of confidence in the cold air. Well, it's already here. Of course, we're confident. 25 degrees below normal or even colder. And the strong winds from the east, because of that cold air pouring in behind an Arctic front, especially strong along western slopes and then west of Deming along the I-10 corridor. That's already happening. And then heavy snowfall should begin tonight and especially tomorrow in the Gila region and spread eastward into the Sacramento Mountains tomorrow, and even the Boot Heel higher elevations will see heavy snowfall, we think. Increasing confidence would be in freezing drizzle and freezing rain east of the Rio Grande, especially tomorrow night, that's Saturday night into early Sunday. Also, sometime Sunday, the cold rain changing to snow in just about all the lowlands, but especially west and north. And then finally, the event ending early Monday. Most of the computer models are either ending the event Sunday evening or early Monday. Looking at Saturday before sunrise, well, we already have the Arctic air pouring in from the northeast and giving you those gusty winds along western slopes. That's still going to be around tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, as the upper low to our west starts to inch towards us, well, the moisture mainly in Arizona will start to affect the Gila region and perhaps the high elevations of the Boot Heel, with some snows increasing. As you go through the day, then that Arctic air, which has not backed off, is going to be a problem, because now that upper low moving in from the west is closer, as well as its moisture being pulled up from the southwest. That moisture, which is initially warm enough for rain, is going to override that Arctic air, and the further east you go, especially east of the Rio Grande, something that starts as rain and falls into air that could be below freezing, that is going to be freezing rain. We're thinking Hudspeth County, eastern Otero County, especially upslope of the eastern slopes of the Sacramento Mountains, and then also overnight Saturday, the higher passes like San Augustine Pass and Trans Mountain Pass further west. So we're concerned about that chance of freezing rain increasing, especially the further east you go. And then you go overnight, and that chance will peak early Sunday, where you have the moisture even more abundant from the southwest, and you still have that Arctic air pushing in from the east. Meanwhile, the snow overnight Saturday should be heavy in our mountainous areas, continuing and then changing to snow in the western and northern lowlands. If not by early Sunday, then certainly during the day. And as the day goes on, the upper low is just about overhead, so that means the layer of atmosphere from surface to many, many thousands of feet above us, it's a cold layer and it's deep. That way, it should all be snow. Maybe a little cold rain left, but most areas should change over to snow by early Sunday evening. And then overnight Sunday, decreasing the precipitation from west to east, and by sunrise Monday, the upper low has already passed us. You should have drier air pushing in from the west, with any lingering snow showers ending. The uncertainties, of course, remain with a system like this. The duration of Arctic air is already going to be longer than we earlier anticipated. So those east winds bringing in the cold air could be a problem if they last longer, because that means they would be still going when the warmer, moist air aloft ahead of that low starts moving in from the southwest. Could that freezing rain occur further west than expected? That is something to watch. I already told you the areas now, mainly higher elevations east of the Rio Grande, especially Hudspeth County. The amount of snow in the southern lowlands. One computer model, believe it or not, says 2 to 4 inches of snow in the Las Cruces area. East El Paso could have 5 or 6 inches. That's one end of the spectrum. At the other end is a computer model that says, nah, most of the southern lowlands is going to be a rain-snow mix, okay, until maybe the very end when there's not much moisture left. Okay, at this point we're tilting or leaning towards the snow scenario Saturday night and beyond. Early Monday leftovers, is there going to be enough of this mess, even if there's no precipitation occurring, leftover slick stuff on the roads to delay openings of businesses and schools on Monday morning? And boy, think about rush hour. Right now we have a winter storm warning in effect for the Gila region and the Sacramento Mountains because the snow there is going to be starting to fall and then become heavier within the next 12 to 18 hours. A winter weather advisory is in effect for the Boot Heel Highlands, especially south of Lordsburg, and Sierra County, because we think they will be getting in on the snow as well. Maybe not as heavily, but they'll be getting in on the action later tomorrow. And by the way, the time of this briefing is Friday afternoon, so tomorrow would be Saturday. Winter storm watch for the remainder of the area because any changeover to snow should be later towards tomorrow night, Sunday morning. Wind advisory continues for the western slopes of the mountains east of the Rio Grande, and then it doesn't mean the wind's not blowing with a vigor out west along western slopes. But the watch, by the way, the winter storm watch for the remainder of the area, we anticipate it to become a winter weather advisory later tomorrow. Let's look at those impacts again. Road closures. We're pretty confident that some of these roads in the higher elevations, especially in the mountains, will be closed because of the snow amounts we're expected. We're expecting 6 to 10 inches of snow above 6,000 feet in the Gila region and 8 to 14 inches at the same elevation in the Sacramento Mountains. And then you think about Hudspeth County and the higher passes in Doña and El Paso counties. If you get that freezing rain scenario, you're going to have to close some roads, I would imagine. Add to that the northern lowlands, the Boot Heel Highlands for snow, and maybe even the southern lowlands. If that one computer model verifies, you might have to close even more roads. Power outages. Well, that's if the freezing rain persists to a point where you get ice increasing and accumulating on power lines. Exposure issues, well, we have that now. It's just going to get worse tonight and tomorrow morning for the western slopes due to the strong winds combined with the cold temperatures. Emergency managers, we urge you to monitor the latest statements and forecasts, as always. Do that. One great way to do that is with our chat room, NWS Chat. And everybody, look for us on Facebook, Twitter, our YouTube channel, and our webpage. Thank you so much for your time. Please be safe.